Cool deal.
All right, we're live.
We're live.
Yeah,
How's it
Brian
going,
made it
guys?
back. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to blackmail Brian into coming back for No More Popcorn. We said, if you do not come back this week, we're gonna review Over the Top without you.
Not on my watch, you motherfuckers.
So Brian, this movie is special to you, right? This is like close to your heart.
This one's pretty near and dear. This was one of my absolute favorites when I was a kid. I mean, aside from all the sentimental stuff about it, is that the right word? Sentimental? I'm sentimental about it.
Why is it so
Yeah.
sentimental to you?
It just brings back memories. Plus, it makes me wish that, like, my dad loved me. And, but, like, this,
Like, loved you
I
enough
think-
to leave you for 10 years and come back?
But then come back.
let's not skip to my one qualm with this movie. Let's not talk about that quite yet. We gotta build up to that. So yeah, I just think that this one is truly a completely forgotten about movie. You never hear anyone talking about Over the Top anymore. And I feel like it was one that was definitely in a lot of people's homes whenever they were kids, especially folks our age. You know what I mean? Because number one, it had Sylvester Stallone, so it made Dad happy and Mom happy back then because he was hot as fuck in those days. And then, and it was it was PG rating. So I mean, it was definitely family friendly, and it's just a kick-ass movie. I love everything about Over the Top. It makes me feel like happy. You know what I mean? It brings joy to my life like not very many things do. And the soundtrack, right?
Dude, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That first part.
You don't
That
know?
first part about that. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
How
What
does
the
it
fuck
go,
are you
Brian?
talking about?
I didn't feel that like
The
that.
miles go by like water over the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't get the amp level from it like at the beginning.
Cause in this country, our hearts are open. We are free to try. God, what are you, a fucking commie?
Yeah. Where's
Like,
my
this is-
lighter? Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Rachel
Yeah.
actually got me that soundtrack on vinyl
Yeah.
a while back, and oh man, I'm so happy to be talking about this one. So one thing with this now, it's so weird. Whenever you guys said that you wanted to talk about this movie, I was thinking about some of the movies that like I hold, once again, very dear to my heart, and that I just think the world of. And I was like, man, there's so many of them that like I don't know all the stuff like behind the scenes and all that stuff about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was the stuff that I was brought up on that I watch a couple of times annually, and then that's it. So I really just quickly, I didn't go in depth reading anything up or anything, but I looked up the director, and I honestly can't remember his name. If one of you guys with the computer access wants to look it up real quick, I think you will be extremely surprised to find some of the movies that this guy has directed.
The director.
There's been some of them we've done. We've reviewed.
Really?
Oh.
Ninja 3.
Oh.
Really?
He also, we haven't done this yet, but he also did Delta Force 1 and 2, I think.
Nice.
He did some of the Death Wish movies. Like, there's some heavy hitters under his name. And I was really surprised. I was expecting to click on the director's name, and it just said, like, I don't know, like, died a year after Over the Top, Like,
Yeah, he did this, and then he directed some episodes of Full House, and then
yeah, and then that's it. That's the end of his career. No, it's, what do you guys think about this movie? I mean, what's because Nathan, I know that you and I have specifically talked about this one before, and your exact words, they just go through my head from time to time, and I'll never forget you saying like, I mean, if you really want me to do that review with you, Brian, I will. I just don't think you'll like what I have to say. I want to let you know I'm in my happy place right now. I'm willing to hear any and all comments about your all's thoughts on Over the Top.
I was actually enjoying it more this time around. Now, I did run out of time, and I had to finish the end at 1.5 speed because I had I just plain
Well,
forgot
that's
to watch
okay.
it.
Yeah.
I had a really late night at work, and I forgot to watch it after work last
Mm-hmm.
night. But yeah, I liked it more this time than I did last time. So, the last time I
So, were
watched
you?
it was a few years ago.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was when I revisited this one. Now, like I said, I've kept it in pretty constant rotation throughout my life. I mean, movies like this and Jaws and Jurassic Park, The Shining, a lot of those I do. I just keep them, I always watch them. But there was a few years that I had not watched Over the Top. And with the way I lived my life, or did at that time, memories don't stay up here very long. So I was surprised when I went to rewatch it for the first time, like a few years ago. Like probably, I think 3 years ago was the first time that I had maybe watched it in like, a long time. And it just, God, it all came back to me. Like I remembered every fucking bit of it, and it's just. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is about that movie. It's just so goddamn charming. It's
It's just yeah, it's one of those. It pulls on your heartstrings. It's this idea of
yeah.
father son coming together. The struggle with the arm wrestling aspect. Can you actually? Do you want to go into just describing what it is? Because it is true. You talked about not a lot of people seeing it. I had, because of my car situation, my mom had to drive me out to pick up this car earlier that I could go to the gym and stuff. And anyway, I told my mom, I'm like, we're doing Over the Top tonight, and she's like, Over the Top. I'm like, you don't know what Over the Top? Like, my mom loves Stallone movies. She loves old action movies. I thought for
Mm-hmm.
sure she would know Over the Top, and she had no idea. I was like, it's the Stallone arm wrestling movie. He's got his kid, and it's in the '80s. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know anything about it. I was surprised.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, and I think one of the biggest things I think to point out about this movie before any other, because it's so easy to say, you know, that's how people remember it. If they do not remember it by the title, they will remember it if you say, "Oh, it's that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie," if they have seen it. In my opinion, first and foremost, it is just a family movie.
Yeah.
I think it has elements of action placed in there. The guy. Now, once again, so forgive me because my research on this is not like it is with other movies. The guy who plays the grandfather, is such a fucking good actor. He's such a badass. I hate him. Like, I hate everything about him. I am. I'm already getting off. Anyway, so it's a family movie. It's about Lincoln Hawk, who is Sylvester Stallone, and he is a truck driver. He had left his family for a period of time because he had his reasons.
Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Because
he just had his reasons.
because he had his reasons, and he his wife. I mean,
Still wife.
In the movie, it says that they're still married. So his wife is sick. His son Michael has been in custody of his grandfather, which is the wife's father. For all of his life, basically. And the mom wants Sylvester Stallone and Michael to connect. He wants them to have a relationship. So he asked Sylvester Stallone, or she asked Sylvester Stallone to go pick up Michael. He's in a military school, and he asked him to go pick him up and take go on this road trip together, basically to visit her in the hospital where she will be having surgery.
Yeah.
So I think and once again, the arm wrestling thing is there. You find out that he has basically a side hustle, if you will, where he arm wrestles other truck drivers, and and his whole goal is he wants to make it to Vegas to compete in the world championship, world arm wrestling championship, and he wants to win that, and he wants to win this new truck so that he can continue to be a truck driver
and to win all this money.
Yeah. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah, he picks up this kid, and and it's just right away you just hate this little shit. You just hate him.
He was the worst.
He's
Fuck that kid.
He's so bratty. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. He is like, oh my god, man, that kid. I almost hate to say it, but I almost feel like he has to be a little bit like that in real life because, man, he's that age. You know what I'm saying? He's that age where a fucking kid would act like that, like a little fucking piece of shit. And God, he's so annoying. He's just such a brat. He cries all the time. Everything's about grandfather. I have to get grandfather's permission. Daddy, why weren't you there? You know, pussy stuff like that.
Yeah.
well, he's very but he's also very stuck up too.
Yes, he is.
He was his grandfather is super rich, and he's Stallone's driving him in his old semi truck, and he's like, they say that he's like the average adult is at a 15-year-old
Brain capacity,
intelligence level, and I'm 12 or 13 or where the fuck it is, and but I'm really smart, so I bet I'm about at a truck driver's level or whatever, and
or that he was more than a truck driver's level.
He's talking shit. Yeah, he's just talking shit to Stallone, and Stallone, is like, you think you're so smart? Why don't you drive the truck?
So I don't want to be annoying during this, and if I am, you guys can steer me in a non-annoying direction, okay? Because that's what friends are for.
I'll just mute.
But I really am very, very, I really am very excited to talk about this movie, and you know what? I'm going to treat it like we are talking to a bunch of people who have never heard of this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's a good point there's a good chance that they haven't. So. When Sylvester Stallone gets to the military academy, this is kind of what we were talking about. He meets up with Michael, and he's called into the colonel's, because that one kid comes downstairs like, Cutler, the colonel wants to see you, and then Michael runs in there, and Sylvester Stallone's standing there, and he's like, this is your dad, and of course he's like, I was instructed to go with no one other than my grandfather.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is your father. And he pulls out the proof, the wedding picture of him and his wife, And so this embarks their journey. This is where we start. And, so we've got, like Nathan was kind of explaining, we've got Sylvester Stallone, who's kind of like this little, like a little rough around the edges kind of a guy. And he's trying to now form a relationship with his teenage son, who has not been raised at all. The way that he is, you know what I mean? There's nothing Sylvester Stallone in this kid.
They have nothing in common.
Nothing at all in common. So it does kind of cause for like at first it's I think it's more sad, at the beginning, where you get situations where Michael is just he just basically acts like he's being kidnapped. He's looking around. They're in the cab of the truck, and they're on their journey now. And he's seeing all these pictures of him, and he's asking, like, why haven't you wrote me a letter? What, no birthday cards, no nothing, Sylvester Stallone's like, what are you talking about, Mike? I wrote you all the time. Birthday? What are you talking about, Mike? He's like, will you let me out, sir? And Sylvester Stallone's like, what's wrong? He's like, will you stop the truck? And he gets out, runs out, and Sylvester Stallone
runs into traffic.
Yes.
Runs into the fucking traffic.
On the interstate.
Runs into traffic for his boy, who sucks. His kid sucks. I wonder if my dad watches this movie from a totally different perspective. Oh, God. See, here I go. This is what I was afraid of, because I don't need to go into, like, scene for scene, but...
oh, yeah, go ahead.
But I love it. He rips off, Michael's jacket, and they kind of get into a little thing there. And basically, at that point, it's kind of like, I guess we'll call it like a truce. They're both just kind of like, Sylvester Stallone at this point's already, I guess, a little tired of his bratty kid. He's like, fuck, this kid's nothing like me. And then Michael, of course, is like, I just want to be home with my grandfather, like fucking him or whatever the fuck they do. I'm pretty convinced there's something going on.
Yeah, they were too close. Yeah. They were creepily too close.
Over the top meant something a lot different.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie, and also right around this time in the movie, you see, like, it's like Stallone is, he's with this kid and he's trying to play like the more sensitive. He's like, like he speaks with a more softer tone that he normally does. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to seem sort of empathetic and like he's trying to draw the kid out. And there's the scene where they're like, they pull over to sleep and spend the night
That
sleeping
was
in the
so
truck.
weird.
And he's like, you can if your neck gets sore, you can put your head on my shoulder.
Yeah, use my shoulder as a pillow.
Yeah, use my shoulder as a pillow. The kid's like, what? No.
but then of course it's cute, because that morning scene when they wake up, Sylvester Stallone has fallen asleep on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's little things like that now. I started off a little harsh about it, saying, my one qualm, which it is. My one qualm with the movie is why exactly did he leave his family?
Yeah.
I've grown to accept it as just part of the plot, and I'm okay with it never being explained. But I do think there's like little things in there that just sort of, try to. He's had a hard life, you know what I mean? So I like to believe that whatever it was something very important, and he's trying to make up for lost time there.
For some reason, I thought, going back watching this a second time, I thought that it was the grandfather had driven him off somehow.
Well, yeah.
But he doesn't. It never actually says that.
He just said that you left the wife and the kid there, and he had to take care of them.
Because whenever Sylvester Stallone later on in the movie is confronting the grandfather, the guy, the grandfather was like, you abandoned your family, and he was like, you were tearing us apart.
Yeah.
And that's really about as deep as it gets in.
And he had accused him of being a drug dealer.
Yeah, yeah.
I did find out there's a rated R version of this movie that's surfing around on the internet. What?
Yeah.
It's a bootleg.
I'm sure it is.
A bunch of gory arm breaking scenes.
Yes. We do have an arm break in this movie.
That was rough.
Yeah, like a real one. Yeah.
I think someone posting R-rated version of Over the Top might be a little bit of a stretch. Yeah. But I bet there is, quite a good deal of like some pretty cool scenes that were shot that were never included in the movie. A lot of those guys, they are arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
And just by the looks of them, I don't think some of them fuck around. You know what
I mean? Like that one dude drinking gas or oil.
Yeah.
That was the part. That's the part that was the only thing I ever remembered when I saw this as a kid, was that crazy guy drinks the motor oil before he arm wrestles Stallone.
And then later, I think he was drinking like Pepto-Bismol or something.
Yeah. Because his stomach is upset. He's like, I think he's drinking Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Exactly. But
I definitely like the sort of, when we get into this big tournament, the arm wrestling tournament in Vegas, the sort of the professional wrestling kind of the personas of all the arm wrestlers. Like they bring that in. Like these guys are just like screaming at the camera like they're doing their sort of wrestling promos, and then and then you've got Stallone just kind of like
no one really know what to do.
Like I sort of just want a truck. I don't really care about the
money.
Like he's trying to talk really softly and like he just he doesn't know what to do. I don't know if it really fits Stallone's person, his persona, but he tries to kind of put that sort of that forward, right?
And I think he did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just odd. When you see it,
I like his acting in this movie.
Well, like when he's
Patrick, do you have any?
Do I have what?
Oh no, you go ahead. I was just going to ask.
What were you going to ask?
Okay, I got confused because everything was quiet for a second. I think maybe just everybody cut out.
That's with you. What were you going to ask though?
I was going to ask you, like, do you have? Was this a part of your childhood? Because I know Nathan, you've seen it as a kid, right?
I seen it also as a kid. Like I remember some parts of it at the beginning. Like I was too young to actually like figure out what the actual story was. I just remember seeing arm wrestling. That was cool as a kid. That was all I remembered from that. So everything came back to me once I watched this again. But I hated that kid. I just fucking hated that kid so much. There's something else I watched that he was in, and I cannot remember. It was excuse me. God, that just sort of slipped out. It was
was it was some science fiction-y kind of movie, and I cannot remember for the fucking life of me what it was. It wasn't even that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was maybe. Nathan, did you watch Battle for the Lost Planet?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Was he in that one?
What? The little
Not that I
kid?
can, not that I can remember.
Yeah.
Let's,
There's something I've seen here. It's gonna drive me crazy.
let's look it up here. I'm on it.
You guys doing a little
Yeah,
research?
I'm
yeah,
doing it
looking
right
them
now.
up.
What's that kid's
I mean, I
name?
feel like he couldn't have been in very many things. So
Oh, David Mendenhall. Okay, here he is. Nope, he just looks weird. God Bless America, Transformers.
he was in God Bless America.
Yep, Roxy's father.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. What else you got?
Let's see, actor. Uncredited. I don't want that at all. Gifted Man, The Forgotten, Lone Wolf. He was in Roseanne. He was a guest on Divorce Court.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing any sci-fi.
God
kind of
damn.
things,
Yeah,
so-
there's-
It's so weird. I've seen him in
He
something.
looks
'cause I
like a
was-
woman. He looks like a woman I've seen, but he's got like a girlish face. No, he does. He
Yeah.
looks
He looks like a transitioned woman.
like a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah. With short
You know what I
hair.
mean?
Yeah. I know.
Like the chick from Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
He looks like the chick from
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
Could be anyone.
So yeah. So we got from arm wrestling to he looks like a 30-year-old transitioning woman.
We got there because that's what I did.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That is what we do. So yeah. So where did we leave off at? In the morning, when they wake up in that truck, they're kind of they start doing like a little bit of like a workout routine and stuff like that. It's pretty
Yeah, I like
fun.
his arm wrestling,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
centered workout where he's like
Mhm.
he's doing sort of these like, well, what you call them, like
Like,
these pulls. He's just
yeah,
like
he's
hanging
doing,
on
like
his
these
bumper.
pulls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's Walt
And he's
Kenny
got his
Loggins.
rig.
He's got the
playing,
rig
by
in
way.
the car. Like what the hell?
Yeah. You've got that fucking Kenny Loggins song going on,
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys remember
I
that
just-
banger in there?
I just.
Can you sing a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's let's see, how's it go again? Oh yeah, it's called Meet Me Halfway. Meet me halfway, across the sky. You know? Only you and I love it, God, dude. That one's on jukeboxes. If you go out to a bar, it's on the jukebox.
Oh
Just
yeah.
throwing that out there in case anyone's ever out at a bar and they want to get their over the top on.
Okay.
So that movie, I mean, that song is for the movie because it is the meet me halfway part. What is it that Stallone says to him?
The world
Just-
meets no one halfway.
Yeah,
If you want
I like
something,
that.
you gotta take it.
yeah.
You gotta. I've literally thought about getting that tattooed on me.
That whole thing. That whole scene.
Yeah, Patrick, the whole fucking thing.
Tramp stamp.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind getting. So I thought about getting like the eagle.
Yeah.
You know, that's on like the front of the truck.
The hawk.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hawk or the hawk. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I
Kind of cool.
let me? Okay, I'm gonna bring out one of my nit. You know Patrick. You know how Patrick nitpicks
Yes.
stuff, and he Patrick
So this
finds.
is your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. Patrick finds these continuity errors.
Yep.
I usually ignore that shit, but this movie has got one that I just could not help but notice is that 1 minute in the same conversation, Stallone will be called Hawk, and the next one he'll be called Hawk.
Yes. I
Oh,
noticed
yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
Non-stop. It's back and forth. And I was just like, why,
Hawks?
how is it so hard to just... No, it's Hawk. It's
Yeah.
Hawk.
Yeah.
It's not multiple Hawks.
Lincoln Hawk.
It's just Hawk. But
What a badass name too. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
it is a
go
good
ahead.
name. But that happened the whole movie, everywhere. It was just, how could you let that go?
Why did the kid
Yeah,
have a different last name if they were married?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Huh.
The grandfather just controlled his fucking life, man.
Took his grandpa's last name.
No.
Yeah.
He's my boy. You know.
I've had him for 12 years.
So let's talk about Bull Hurley.
Which
Who's
one was
a
he
bad-
again?
Bull Hurley, is he like the ultimate? He's like the one he faces at the end.
Oh,
yeah. Your kid's yellow, son, or your dad's yellow, son, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
They meet him in what's it?
Oh, he's like, is that your dad? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they meet him in the they go into a truck stop and they're having dinner, and so
I love the.
What?
Yeah.
He went robot.
yeah, you had an internet stroke.
I think he still is. He's frozen.
Oh God.
I don't know where he was going.
Oh, there he is.
You back?
Nope. Jesus,
Fucking
that was
me.
like a horror movie.
There you go. Okay, you're back now. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. I was listening to Brian. Go, Brian, go.
What?
We were saying something. Anyway, there's all sorts of glitches going on here. So they're in
internet.
they stopped at a truck stop, and they're going to get some dinner. And this is where we're kind of introduced to the whole arm wrestling aspect of Sylvester Stallone's life. One of the guys comes up, basically this guy in the truck stop, and challenges Sylvester Stallone to an arm wrestling match. And
He's like, I thought you were the guy. I heard you were the guy.
Yeah,
You were like the guy.
Yeah,
Something like,
hawk?
yes, something like, yeah.
I heard you're the man to beat. Oh, you can't believe everything you hear. I don't believe anything.
Well, we went
Yes,
to
Stallone
Vegas.
is he's so low key in this. He's just like, you know. Then he gets in and he turns that hat around.
He's a
Yeah,
new
he turns
person.
the hat around. It's kind of his signature move. He turns it around when he's ready to go.
Just like Ash
so they're arm
Ketchum.
wrestling, and yeah. So this is the first time Michael gets to see like kind of his dad do this stuff, and he's upset by it. He's like you hustled, that man back there, and of course his dad's trying to say like, well, it's just, I don't know, it's just something I do basically. But that scene is where we're also introduced to Bull Hurley. This is how we know who are like he's like the final boss in a video game. Like he comes walking in, and this guy is fucking massive, and I love. The dude can't act for shit, but to be completely honest with you, he doesn't really have to for this role. He really his entire thing is just to be menacing, and everything about him fits a character like that so well. He's just, all the way down from like he's got like this fucking super tight red shirt. He's almost on that like wrong side of built. You know what I mean? He almost just, it's almost like you're kind of fat, but you're just fucking huge in like every possible way.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like this complete mass of an individual. And he talks to Michael in the diner, and and he's saying, basically, it sucks that he's your old man, which kind of, is once again, we've talked about how we know the outcome of this movie and everything, and about Sylvester Stallone had a reason to leave his family, but for a first-time viewer on this movie, up until this point, you are still kind of wondering, like, well, is he a piece of shit? Like, what did he do? Because you've even got wrestlers and stuff, or not wrestlers, I'm sorry. You even got the arm wrestling guys and stuff coming up, like, it sucks that he's your dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're thinking, like, what the fuck is he? Like, what did he do?
I think he was just trafficking drugs this whole time in his semi-trucks. Because the granddad was like telling the kid, your dad was a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer. He's peddling drugs.
Yeah, but I don't think that the mom dying in the hospital is going to sit there and be like, he had his reasons to fucking peddle black tar
I think he
heroin.
was trying to be like Breaking Bad. Mom's sitting there dying from whatever heart disease it is.
What I don't get is like
she died from eating the fried chicken. Remember how Michael corrected her?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead,
the
Nate.
whole like when Stallone talks to his wife on the phone when she's in the hospital, he's like, "Hey, honey," they have a very nice conversation, but at the same time, like you already mentioned, like he's the kid's like, "Why didn't you ever write me?" He's like, "I did write you." So she was keeping his letters, because he finds them later in her stuff, right?
The grandfather. The
It was in the
grandfather
grandfather's stuff.
had
Well,
kept,
there was like
all the
purses and
letters.
stuff in her dressers.
Yeah, it was like in a
yeah.
purse.
But it was stuff at his house. Like he was there and he was digging through the closets, and there was all these boxes that were kept up, on shelves and stuff in the closet. And he was digging through them, and he found all of these letters. I do get what you're saying. I'm not trying to dismiss the fact that like it happens to be in what I assume may be like her old bedroom.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has anything to do with her keeping those from him. I think it was all the grandfather just like storing them away. If that makes sense. I'm totally open to the
No, I mean
I've never had a discussion about like the mother being a part of it.
I mean, yeah, she was just angry
So
at
I'm totally
Sylvester
open
for
to that.
leaving. So she wanted the kid to hate him for a
Well,
bit.
it's like she seemed like she still cared about him, and she obviously is the one that wanted him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't seem like there was any hard feelings from her about the whole thing. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it does make more sense you saying it was the grandfather. It just made it did look like it was her room or whatever. But yeah, it's just I want to know what he did. You just want to know what he did, right?
Okay. No. So this definitely needs to be something that hopefully people will participate in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us what Sylvester Stallone did.
Yeah.
Like what happened? Why did he have to leave his family? So yeah, let's go ahead and start fast forwarding a little bit. When the relationship between Sylvester Stallone and Michael really starts to kind of change, because now it really is. It kind of turns into almost like this kind of a fun little road trip, sort of a movie between father and son, and it's obviously it shows kind of all this stuff that's going on where the entire time the grandfather is working with his cronies basically to get Michael back. Like, we have to get him away from his father. That's my boy. His dad, whatever, doesn't need him. Kind of a deal. The mom, like we said, she's keeping up to date with them all and everything, and she's trying to convince her dad, like, hey, I want him to be with his dad. I want him to get this. But anyway, they end up they're eating again, and there's three kids that are playing some arcade games in this restaurant, and Sylvester Stallone and Michael, they're walking out the door, and Link's like, hey, you feel strong, you feel good. He's like, sure, why? And he brings him in there, and he wants to get him to arm wrestle one of these kids.
Yeah.
So he comes in there and he lays the money down and everything, and makes a bet with the kid and shit like that. Saying, I bet my kid can beat you.
10-1.
10-1 odds. And
kid's like, I'll make you hurt.
Yeah.
He was a perfect.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, he was
I
a
hate
perfect
that line,
movie bully kid. Out of nowhere,
Yeah.
they found the perfect bully for him to arm wrestle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, Michael loses that first round and he gets really hurt. He tells his dad, all you wanted to do was embarrass me. Well, you did it. Mom always said, or grandfather always said you were a loser. Now you're trying to make me one. God, I hate that. Oh, I hate that line.
It's like,
So
you just watched me beat this dude earlier. How am I a loser?
You're the loser, kid.
Well, this is where of course we get the line, the world meets no one halfway. If you want something, you got to take it. He's like you lost because you let yourself lose. You're my boy. You're special. And I know you can win. I know you can do it. So if you lose, at least you can lose like a champ. Kind of a deal. God, this movie's so great. It's so great. Anyway, so we still have
Oh, what?
another arm wrestling night. You know what I mean? It's not done yet. The bet's not resolved. So they go back. Huh? Hello?
You
Are we
cut
good?
out for a second.
You're good.
Okay,
But yeah.
we're good. So anyway, we go back inside now, and Michael he's ready to fucking go, man. He's turning his hat around, and he's ready to kick some ass. And they arm wrestle. He wins. They do another round. He wins again. Bam, money's his. I think it's really cool because at that point, it's almost like this whole back and forth between like, Dad, you suck, and like, Dad, you're fun sometimes. It's solidified now. I mean, they love each other. You know what I mean? It's a cool little bond. And then after that, they go outside and they're calling the mom. And the little boy. I love this whole transfer between Sylvester Stallone and the kid. When they're in the phone booth and the kid's talking to the mom in the hospital and saying like, Mom, I just arm wrestled this guy that was like 2 times as big as me, and Sylvester Stallone's standing outside of it like, like mouthing to the kid like, say bigger, like telling a fucking
5'8",
like telling a fishing story.
Yeah.
Is Mom, this guy was enormous, and it's so adorable. I fucking love that scene. Someone else take over. I'm about to get in tears, man. God damn, this movie. I love this movie. I love this fucking movie.
I just don't get why there's much tears from you for this movie.
It's tears of joy. I think that this movie is just. I don't know, Patrick. We all have our things,
okay.
And I just think this movie is adorable.
I cry every time I watch Surf Ninjas. I just break down.
See, there you go. I know you're being sarcastic, but that's okay.
So, like, what I thought was weird was the kid escapes or runs away from Granddad to fly out to Vegas.
He finally changes his mind.
Yes.
He because when they get to the hospital. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Patrick, but I feel like if we're going to hop to that, there's a couple of things that we need to discuss first.
Yeah, sure.
So by the time they make it to the hospital, the mom has died. She passed away in surgery.
He's like, I was wasting my time with you having fun, and I could have been here and seen my mom before she died.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And then he runs away. Yeah.
And he runs away. I think I do like so. Okay, I'm trying to think because, like you guys said, I don't want to talk about every. I do want to talk about every little aspect, but I guess we shouldn't. So he runs away, and Sylvester Stallone, he's just going towards he's now on his way to the arm wrestling championship in Vegas.
Oh,
so that's where he's at, and then the kid, he's back at the grandfather's house, and this is where he sees the notes, and he kind of starts seeing all these things and everything, and he realizes like, I want to be with Dad. Now, in this whole period of time, though, Sylvester Stallone has been fucking locked up because he goddamn ran the truck into his fucking house. It was so badass. I love that. It was awesome.
But to get out, he signed over the rights to have his kid. He signed it over to the grandfather because the kid said he didn't want to be with him. He's like, where are we gonna go? You just have a truck. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
It's like I just need to, I should just be here with my grandfather.
Where will we go? Where Where would we be? Well, we'll be together. That's all I can guarantee. And then he. Patrick, why are you? Man, you're heartless, dude. Boy, you mean.
I am heartless.
No.
I'm fucking mean, boy.
Next week, we're watching Old Yeller.
Yes.
Oh no.
Where the red fern grows.
Then Bambi. We'll just hit every.
I've gotten soft in my older age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I used to be very much like Patrick, stupid.
What?
And, I used to watch these things and laugh and be like, oh, what a fucking idiot. And now I swear to God, I can't. I don't know. I get choked up at everything. It's weird. It's weird. Oh my God, guys! So I was mowing my yard, and this really fucked me up. This is it sucked, and I don't really know why I'm actually deciding to share it, but I am anyway. So I was mowing my yard, and I fucking hit a little bunny
Oh,
like that came out of it. There was a nest in my yard, and I didn't know.
man.
You know what I mean? Oh my
Yeah.
God, it tore me the fuck up, dude.
Yeah. No.
I was standing there, and I guess Rachel had seen me through the window. I look over, and she's like standing beside me. The lawnmower's still running. And I'm just kind of standing there,
Oh, man.
and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, like, fuck, man." And I am. I'm just a softie with animals.
No, I
like
think that's gonna bother anybody.
Yeah.
I think.
it sucked, man. It sucked, and like I'm not trying to be gross or anything like that. I've never had a situation like this with like, anything outside of like a bug, but it wasn't dead. So obviously, you have to,
Yeah.
have to kill it, or else it's just going to lay there suffering. But I did. The good side of this is I did find its little nest, and there was a couple of them still in there. And
Take care of the rest of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't make it without your brother.
No, I found them, and I was just like, okay, I'm just like not going to touch this area. But they're gone now. I guess they got old enough. Either that, or they were like, fuck this guy.
Oh, they figured that out quick.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Drop the body back in there?
Did it?
So
You taught
fucking-
the other.
Here's your brother.
Start praying to Satan.
It's true though. It's like the only way I could really deal with it is humor. It's
Yeah.
like anytime anyone like in my life is that. Now, I've never ran anyone in my life over with a lawnmower before, but anytime anyone in my life has died, I always deal with it with humor. So I had to kind of use that with the bunny.
Did
God,
the rabbit scream?
no.
That's good because
Yeah.
it's a horrific sound.
Yeah.
If you've ever
That
heard a rabbit
screech.
scream, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at the top.
I actually, real quick before we get there, Patrick, I want to mention something to you.
What?
So I was watching your guys' review, and by the way, nice job on
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Enjoyed that. You talk a lot more when I'm not around.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to. It's only
I got
two.
to. It's only two people. When you have more people, you try not to interrupt the other people. That's why.
Brian, I see where you're going. I do agree that that Patrick maybe he should talk more, jump in there.
Well, I was actually I wanted to ask while
Yeah.
we're getting all emotional on it, or maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Am I too pushy? Do I need to back off?
What?
You mean right now
Right
or
now?
in general?
Well, now I mean both.
I just try not
Pat-
to interrupt anybody. Is what I try to do on this, especially like 3 people over hangouts. It's a lot harder to not jump all over each other doing that.
So the way that sounds to me is you're trying to explain to me that I'm trying not to do what you do, Brian. I'm trying not to be rude and just talk over everyone. I guess I'm going over the top.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, Patrick is generally, we do our other we do have our podcast, Verbal Assault. Patrick definitely, he prefers to lay back and mostly let other people do the talking.
Yeah.
And see, for me, that's generally my attitude in real life, but on these shows, I flip the switch.
Yeah.
And I do my more forward, my more forward personality, basically. I put on a persona.
So very much like Sylvester Stallone, his character in Over the Top, he is this more soft-spoken individual in this movie than we're used to seeing him portray. But when it comes down to business, when it comes time for him to arm wrestle, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
Put on my suspenders, oil up, get ready.
I gotta tell you, if someone asked me if you could look like anyone, who would it be? I would want to look like fucking Sylvester Stallone
with the denim shirt and the denim tie.
He just looks
and
like
the
such a
denim
fucking
pants.
badass. He's like a classy badass. You know what I mean? Like He looks fucking badass. That's all I can say. He looks like the kind of man that'll steal your wife. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
He'll steal them for like a year or two and then leave them for 10 years and try to come back into their life.
I feel like half of his casting for this movie is just the face he makes when he's arm wrestling, because like he's got that. He's got a weird face, right?
You know how he got that face, right?
No, how do you get
You want to know how
I can tell you. When he was being born, the doctors fucked up with a forceps, and it like cut some nerve damage in his face, so it actually paralyzed part of his face. So that's why he talks like that, makes those expressions like that.
That's why he kind of talks like he's like.
Yeah, because part of his face doesn't work right from that.
He had to learn how to use different face muscles.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because his brother just looks like a regular kind of less cool version of him.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Stallone.
Yeah.
I think he did a song for this, because I noticed on Amazon it said Frank Stallone, and then there was a song.
That would make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of songs for older Stallone, Sylvester Stallone movies.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at the Vegas convention. We're there. We've made it. And my, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Before that, so the kid leaves, gets a plane ticket, flies out to Vegas. Bodyguards are trying to find the kid, and then I guess they give up, and Granddad's already at the hotel just chilling. While his bodyguards are supposed to be looking for the kid, they're with the old man just chilling. So there's just a kid just rampant in Vegas. If the if the grandfather really loved that kid, he would still be searching for this kid instead of having some drinks at the bar in his penthouse.
Yeah, but he's evil. He's evil, Patrick.
I guess. I just found it weird. If he loved this kid so much.
No, you do. You bring up a good point there. This is a good point.
He's going to be looking for this kid, not hanging out drinking
at the hotel, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, he's at the hotel, but you're still going to be looking for this kid.
Yeah.
In this event, filled it in a crowd. Why isn't he looking for this kid still?
I don't know, man. I guess when you got that kind of money, dude, it just...
the kid will come back soon.
All I'm saying is that...
I would pay my cronies to do everything.
Well, the cronies weren't doing anything. They came back and was hanging out with him, with the old man.
Well, I'd have other cronies to hang out with me. And
Patrick, if it makes you feel... Go ahead, Nathan. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
Patrick, if we're ever at a hotel, and I'm in custody of you, I would go find you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sylvester Stallone is mowing his way through these matches. He has lost a couple, and you basically, this is a 3-time elimination. I'm not a sports guy.
It's like a double elimination.
Double
elimination.
Yeah.
Double elimination. So
you can lose one, and then come back, and you have to win again to get back to where you were, and then you would have to win again. Yeah.
Sure. This whole time, this entire sequence, basically, the only thing that really changes between us seeing Sylvester Stallone arm wrestle these guys and all these characters, which is a complete delight all of its own. It's just fantastic. It's I mean, I hate using terms like this, but I mean it really is just like as 80s as you can get. That
got the girls with the big hair with the tights and the like thongs and the tight shirts with the nipples poking through. Very 80s.
So we've got that going on, and Michael trying to basically get to his dad. And the only other thing that really differs from that is we do get a conversation between Sylvester Stallone and the grandfather. They find him after one of his losses, and they say, he wants to see you. So he goes up there to his suite, and they're talking, and the grandfather offers him, like, here's a check for, whatever.
$500,000. It was 500,000. 500,000 and a new truck.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, just take this, get the hell out of here, and get out of my life. Never come back again, kind of a deal. And Sylvester Stallone, doesn't he take it and rip it? Did he rip it, or did he just refuse it?
No, he just refused it and then punched the crony through the door.
Oh, yeah, that's a badass part. Which that guy, that security guard, and I can't even begin to remember what it is, but he's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's always like that kind of guy. Yeah. But anyway, so he refuses it, and he goes back down for his final match. It's him and Bull Hurley now. And goddamn, it's so tense. Like, it's just when you get a lot of those awesome shots of just like close-ups of his fucking eye, and
they're
Bull
so
Hurley
fucking, they're so oily and shiny.
Yeah. Damn right. And but anyway, it's super cool. Michael is in the crowd now. He's kind of watching him, and actually, I guess it's fair to say, before the match, he found Sylvester Stallone, and he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I want to be with you, Dad. Like, I don't care what's going to happen. I want to be with you. So anyway, Sylvester Stallone wins. He goes. We have not yet one single time discussed one of the topics.
His move. Is it legal to do what he does? Because I noticed, like, with the Bill dude, he was like, he's letting go. He's letting
Did you
go.
Say Bill?
Whatever the dude's name, the giant dude's name.
Bull.
Sorry.
Bull. No, I'm not. I wouldn't mean it like that. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so like they got the wrist thing, and he'll like let go of his 4 fingers and then move it over the thumb.
Yeah, it goes over the top.
Yeah, that's a legal move.
I mean, in the movie it is.
Okay.
In the movie it is. Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? I mean, I've thought that before. Well, I've like wondered that.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder if it might be legal because they have the wrist strap that they bring out.
Yeah.
To make sure that you stay in correct formation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're So maybe.
I guess.
I'm gonna train.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go to a Yeah, and I'm gonna try to pull that shit. And then,
it's a real thing. I mean, they have these competitions.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now, and apparently they were filming real competition because you do see a guy break his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cringed so bad at that scene.
Yeah, and that's why I won't actually. Well, there's a reason I won't actually arm wrestle anybody because I knew somebody who worked at another store, the same company I work with. 2 of these big dudes. Both of these guys were like. They were known, they were like over 6 foot tall, really big, heavy guys. These guys were arm wrestling at work. A lot of downtime, nothing happened. Oh, let's have the 2 biggest guys arm wrestle. They started, and one of the guy's arms completely snapped. They said it was so loud you could hear it in the other side of the building. And you just, everything just this way. So, I don't have any strength to prove. I know I'm not very strong, so it's like I don't need to arm wrestle. I'm not going to take the risk of messing something up in my elbow or whatever to be tough. I don't need to.
You don't need to prove nothing. I think you're tough as nails. So yeah, we end on a happy note. Which is also a nice little change of pace, I think, for our channel, right. Especially,
So what happens? Does the granddad sue him because he took the kid?
No. See, if you recall correctly, it's almost like it's very small and subtle, which I also appreciate. There was no point in I realize that no one that I've ever met loves this movie the way that I do. But if there's one thing that could be said about it, it really is. It's paced extremely well, and I think the decisions that were made through filmmaking for it were done really good. I mean, the acknowledgement, like, the grandfather's face whenever he sees Michael jump into Sylvester Stallone's arms at the end after he's won, and they're turning around and Michael's holding that fucking trophy. You see the grandfather just accept. You know,
he's like, maybe this is the best thing.
Yeah, and there's no need for a discussion about it. There's no need or anything. You just see it, and for whatever reason, that subtlety works for that scene. It just works perfectly. And then so of course Sylvester Stallone now has got the truck. He got the truck and the son, and they step outside, and we have once again another adorable scene where it's he's like, oh, you know what Michael's talking about, like, what do you think Son and Hawk about their company, about their trucking company. So Sylvester Stallone's turning the Hawk on the truck. He's like, what do you think about Hawk
and Son? Everybody froze up.
Hawk and Son.
Yeah.
Hawk and Son.
Yeah.
I think
Another thing that shows that
yeah.
Hawk only thinks about himself because he wants to be put first.
Well, nobody ever titles anything Son in.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue as much as Hawk and Son.
If he cared about his son, he'd put his name first.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Man, I'm gonna like, we're gonna go back after your baby's born.
Yeah.
Is Tavy still in there with you?
She's laying
I mean,
down.
it's okay.
She's
okay.
laying down right now.
You tell her this too if you feel like it later on.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back, okay?
Yeah.
And any little mess up that you make with your kid, dude, I'm gonna play all this shit out to you. Any little thing that you do wrong, I'm gonna be like, man, you promised to be like the best father.
Man, Nathan.
Keep a record and show it to the kid when he's older.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm down for that.
No, guys, honestly, guys, this made me tremendously happy.
Yeah, mine are shit.
I'm sorry, I feel like everyone's a little bit...
Everybody's back now.
We're all back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This made me tremendously happy. I have wanted to do this movie for a long time, and I guess, honestly, I was just kind of worried because it's sort of out of the realms of what we normally do. But with especially what's been going on here lately, and with us not being able to get together regularly, it was a perfect fit. I'm glad you guys mentioned it. The only thing that I'm sad about it is the fact that we were not able to watch it together.
Yeah.
I do truly love this movie, and I do. I understand 100%. How it's viewed to be a little bit quirky and not quirky. I'm sorry, just like a little silly. It's a little, it's a little over the top. But I really find it to be extremely pleasurable, and I think, honestly, like, when it comes to filmmaking, it hits about every corny trope that you could ever think of. But I love the delivery of it, and overall, I just think it's a great movie. So, I mean, no surprise here. I'm definitely giving it 5 buckets. I adore it.
Patrick, what do you think?
Brian, I'm going to let you know this. Tavy was like, so Brian would listen to this soundtrack to get pumped? I was like, yeah. I don't see why. I don't see why.
I did before my band's reunion show. I did, and honestly, a lot of it is because of how that movie makes me feel.
Yeah,
it's like honestly, I'm not. It's not like I'm saying these things trying to get anyone on my side.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure that everyone has something like it, and in this case, a movie. So we'll just say that. A movie that makes them feel a certain way, that it just brings back like all the best of memories. It makes them, it just puts them in a frame of mind and puts them in a state that they find enjoyable.
I got you.
And I I really do just love this movie. It reminds me of, like, just, I don't know. It's just simple.
Yeah.
It's simple, and it's good, and I think it shows, like, a form of like father-son relationships and stuff like that you might not really necessarily see in movies anymore. I don't know. I just think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is saying, like Sylvester Stallone being like, like you're my boy, and you're smart and you're awesome and you're cool and you can do anything you want to do.
You can arm wrestle like me.
Well, you know what I'm saying. It doesn't come across as like, and please don't chastise me for saying this, but it doesn't come across as like that toxic masculinity shit that people talk about all the time. You know what I'm saying? It comes across to me as just like a genuine love that a father would have for his son, and just telling that kid like, you can fucking do anything you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You can fucking do this.
Yep.
Don't fucking give up. Don't be a little pussy about this shit. Fucking stand up and do this.
And if you lose,
I wouldn't
be a man about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't chastise you at all. I completely agree. And I don't actually believe toxic masculinity is a thing. You just got masculinity.
That's just like I guess that's just kind of the fucking bullshit term that I guess we're all used to now. But
it's the way it's the way it's portrayed. But I agree with you that a kid needs his dad.
Yeah.
It's got support, and that movie puts this forward. Patrick, did you give a score?
No, I didn't give a score. I'm gonna give it a 4. Just at the beginning, I just hated that fucking kid. He was so annoying. I was like, I swear to God, I hope my kid's not like this. So I'll have to beat him if he is like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, beat them early, then they won't be that way.
Yeah.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Start early on the beatings. Yeah. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I did enjoy the movie though. It was a great movie. I've been loving the summer action movies that we've been doing, stuff like that. I don't know. Would you really consider this an action movie though? No.
Like I said, first and foremost, I consider it to be a family movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like you said, it is. You use the word quirky, Brian. It is a weird concept for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvester Stallone is a trucker who also happens to arm wrestle, and he's reuniting with his kid, and wants to get to know him better. I mean, that's the idea of he wants him to be with him. Mom dies and all this. It's a weird idea for a movie. It would be interesting to know how all that came about.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely liked it more than this time than last time. I think it's good. I can't say it's amazing. I'd give it a 3.5 buckets of popcorn. It's like I say, I definitely think people like the way you experience it. You'd probably like it more if you watched it as a kid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or maybe if you're an adult and you have kids, I think you'll probably also get more out of it that way too.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
So 3.5. I think people should see it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of those with movies like this. It's kind of hard, I guess, for me to grade because, of all the movies that we've done, like so throughout us doing No More Popcorn, I've always been trying to find like the right way to judge a movie, like the right way to actually I hate using the term critique, but to critique a movie or to discuss it. Because at first, it was always like, well, I can't let like my biases judge my rating. And for the last while, I've just kind of let that go. I'm like, it's sort of actually going with Nathan, what you used to say at the beginning, with a lot of those movies is like, if you enjoy it, then that should be your score. It shouldn't be based on whether like there's all these problems with it or it's a big fucking mess tonally or anything like that. So with a movie like Over the Top, I mean, because I clearly know that a lot of it is just nostalgia for me and how much I absolutely love that movie and how much I was brought up with it. But, now after watching so many films and stuff like that too, and not saying that to claim any kind of a status, like I know what I'm talking about because I guess I really don't. But I think I can recognize like decent filmmaking and just like stuff like that when it's presented. And I really do. I think for this one being sort of like this forgotten 80s family arm wrestling movie, it's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, there's not enough arm wrestling movies out there. We need more.
See, I don't know. See, I think I would kind of look at it like I love over the top. You know, this is where I would be one of those people like, you know, we already got it. You know what I mean? Like over the top's great. We don't need to fuck with
We
it.
should.
You know what I mean? Like we don't need another.
We should-
You don't want a remake
No.
with The Rock playing Stallone's part.
Yeah, we should do a sequel.
Except it's a daughter. It's not a son.
Yeah.
It's a daughter.
Yeah, it's a daughter.
Rock,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's called Under the Bottom.
It's a
You
different
heard
movie.
it here, folks. Wow. Yeah.
Get to us, Weinstein Company.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know how you like the title Under the Bottom.
Man, you, my friend, win the award on that. Yeah. I want you to pick me up in your arms and twirl me around. Hey, you know, speaking of that, so we did the we can either go about this one of two ways because I know we're kind of dwindling down towards the end of the review here. My phone is about to die, so I can either go plug it up and we can keep talking, or we can kind of wrap it up.
I think we'll wrap it
Yeah,
up.
we'll wrap up. There we go.
But you know, we did. Let's see. So it was whenever we reviewed. Was it Dead or Alive?
Mm-hmm.
When we did the intro to it,
yeah.
where there was a moment where Patrick and myself had kind of recreated
Oh, the arm wrestling scene.
a scene from Over the Top.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Talking about the arm wrestling part, or
Yeah.
when you picked up Patrick and twirled him around.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
twirling around thing.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what it is.
I'll go back and download that, cut that into this.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that was a great intro.
Yeah.
Guys, I love you and I miss you.
Love
It
you,
was
miss
a
you
tremendous
too.
amount of fun to do this. So yeah, thank you all for taking the time to talk about one of my favorite movies with me. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you back again, Brian.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Can't
We're-
wait for you to have it over to watch a movie.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We are getting there. Like I said, I think next week we should probably be able to be good to go. I'll just have to kind of shuffle some stuff around, you know, to make sure that we're not going to interrupt Rachel. But I think we can easily do that. So maybe, like I said, I'm not committing to it 100% now.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to. I would love to fully commit to it. Just let me check and see what's going on, and then hopefully next week we'll be back into a little bit of normalcy.
Cool.
So
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
Guys.
Brian, sing
Yeah.
us out. Sing us out for the end.
Yeah.
take it higher, fire with fire, over the top. Yeah. As I watch you walk away, I can hear the words you say. Yeah. Got it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got that.
You got it?
Yeah.
I just start dancing all over this city. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, okay?
You too, man.
See ya.
See ya.
See you, Brian.